Good morning, everybody under the stars. Morning for most of you. I'm here in another part of the world, and I wanted to reach around to your part of the world and say hello. Got some visitors on the way, and this is going to be a very busy week. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get back with you guys. But sometimes we need to reflect on everything that's happened, past, present, and future, and think about where we've been, where we're going, and what's happened on our journey to find the truth. Been a lot of ups and downs, been a lot of blind corners, been a lot of unforeseen occurrences. But at the end of the day, I feel like we've reached a point to where we can actually look back and say it was all worth it. Shout outs to you guys who decided to show up this morning to hear some positive information. Love you guys, whoever thumbs down this video. It's ridiculous. I think it's about time that we all just stood up and decided that we are going to shake away the chains. Now is the time, you guys. Now is the time. It always has been the time. We just didn't realize it. We didn't realize that we hold our destiny in our own hands when it comes to how we navigate through this reality. And sometimes we forget that. We forget that we have the power to tread on serpents. We forget that we have the power of the Holy Spirit behind us. Forget that. Life goes on, and we're trapped in our prisons. Life goes on. We feel lost. We feel as though there is no hope. But there's always hope, because we have the power to overcome anything in this life, even the worst tragedies, because all we have to do is believe. And I know that it sounds so simple, but it's actually the most easy thing to do if you can just convince yourself that it's something that you want. And, I know that I always need that reminder. So I want to give a hug to everybody out there that has decided to come and get some encouragement today. And I also want you guys to understand that they will continue to attack. It's what they do. Yep. So as you can see here, the attack continues. And we're not even going to address this anymore. Okay. If I need to, I will simply disable the ratings. And that's the last thing I'm going to say about it. And right now, I'm just going to try to let the Holy Spirit go through me and through all of us and continue to encourage you guys. We shifted a season of change. We're now in the summer. Birds are chirping, gardens growing, change is occurring. And if we can just hold on to that moment of growth and renewal and love and go through into the other side and try to understand what is we're coming up against, then we will understand that we have the power to overcome anything. Now, the evil ones don't want you to understand this thing. They don't want you to understand the powers within you, which is hence the attack on this video already. Hasn't even published yet. Obviously, this is some kind of a computer program. We're going to have some fun with it, aren't we? Because that's what we do on this channel. When they throw us lemons, we make lemonade. And they understand the power on this channel. They get it, which is why they attack. In fact, what they've done is they've actually tried to neuter this channel and basically push it down to the bottom because they understand the power that this channel is all of you. This channel is all of you, and you hold the power. And when you start to realize that and you get that, that is when change happens. And they don't want change to happen. You see, they don't want change to happen, which is why you see what is happening right now. Before your eyes, you are seeing the enemy attack. You are seeing the enemy try to squash your free thought, trying to squash your love, trying to squash all that you believe, all the power locked up inside of you. And it is a battle. It's no different than what we saw the Bible patriarchs battle. It's no different. It's the same thing, you guys. And at the root of it all was love. And this is what they hate. They claim to love. They claim to accept. But it all ends up being hate. Hating what is good. But we're not going to let that happen because we've already won, haven't we? We've already won. We've been given the power to tread on these serpents, despite their attacks, and we will persevere. Now, it's interesting because much of the work that we do on this channel is attacking the serpent, cutting his head off, exposing him, exposing all of his sorcery that causes us to sin, causes us to fail in our lives. They hate that too, but what they hate worse is what we're doing today, which is giving all of you guys a big, warm hug, loving you, and helping encourage you to fight another day, to love a little more, and to realize the power that is inside of you, to realize that you are fueled by the Most High if you only open your eyes and awaken. Jesus Christ himself said that the eye is the lamp of the body. Yes, he said the eye is the lamp of the body. He said if your eye is single, your whole body will be full of light. But he also said if your eye is dark, kind of like this thumbs down here, that your whole body will be filled with darkness. To cast our nets to the right side, the right brain, which is the side of your brain that enables you to believe that you need a savior in your life. And so when I think about the power of that statement and what it holds for each and every one of you, then I begin to understand why the enemy hates us so much. He doesn't want you to wake up and realize your heritage. He doesn't want you to wake up and realize who you really are. Because the minute you do that, the very second that all of you, 59 watching today so far, realize, when you realize that the end of all this is within your hands, if you can all just come together, when you realize that, all of this is over. It's over. Do you ever sit back and think sometimes that if we could all get on the same page and do what it is that we're here to do, that eventually, do you ever wonder if Christ might come back sooner? Do you ever wonder if you could change the course of history with your love? Do you ever wonder if the act that you do today might create a chain reaction that could spill around the world? The butterfly effect, and affect someone somewhere that might then affect someone else somewhere else. I sit back and think about those things all the time. That's why I'm on this YouTube channel. Because I think if I can just say something the right way and get people to understand that they are victims of sorcery, that everything that they're watching that's coming in through their senses is affecting the person that they are. It is trying to dim your light. It is trying to make your light darker so that your whole body is full of darkness. And sometimes I wonder if I just try harder, try to say the information a different way, try to present it to you, that you guys will get it. And I hope that the reach continues to grow so that more and more people can reflect the light of Christ, the light of love. He is the source. And sometimes we need to have these talks, you guys. It's not all about just decoding videos. It's not all about chasing the head of the serpent, helping Christ to cut it off. We're the foot soldiers of love. That's what we are. We're the foot soldiers of Christ. Without human beings, there would be no great controversy. There would be no great debate about love. There would be no world. We are the world. We are the world. And so it's up to us to help make change. It's up to us to shine the light of Christ. It's not about pointing fingers or damning people to hell with our words. It's about being the change you want to see. It's as simple as that. Be the change that you want to see in this world. When you're driving down the highway and you're looking at the car next to you, try to be what you want that person to be. Do you want that person running you off the road? No, you don't. You want that person to be a courteous driver, just like yourself. You want them to have love in their hearts. You want them to be safe. That's what this is about. And it's about that simple. But sometimes we need a reminder. You know, religion was devised as a method to hijack the love of Christ, pinning us up in buildings and denominations and factions, so that all we do is sit around and think about how we're different than the other guys. The only person that Christ attacked were the people responsible for the sorcery that kept us down. Let's go over into the chat. Some people are saying that the sound is off. Let's take a look here. You know, sometimes I wonder if animals were put here so that we could learn a lesson, so we could learn love. I know many of you have dogs and cats. I made a little friend today. I don't know his name yet. He's a little brown cat. And he came over this morning and he smelled some lamb chops that I had eaten the night before. Well, the bones were in the trash, so I pulled them out and I dropped them down there. And of course, the cat didn't want to trust me at first. But I think at the end of the day, the cat ended up being my friend because he came back the next day for the other set of lamb chops. So that's pretty funny. And that's just a small example of reflecting the love of Christ to all things, animals, people. Have you ever been in one of those relationships where the person that claims to love you the most treats other people better than they treat you? Ever been in one of those relationships where you fight and yell and scream, but then that person goes to work and seems to hold it all together just fine? Be the change that you want to see in the world. Person and the people in your life that you claim to love the most should be the people that you try the hardest with. Okay? Plain and simple. I'm in the chat with you guys. I don't care what they do to me on this channel. I don't care if they put 100 thumbs down. I don't care. They cancel my Google Plus. I don't care. What it shows is they've run out of all other options. So they have to resort to these games. They didn't anticipate is we were going to be covering the things that we're covering today. And so the robots, they're kind of stupid because they need to be programmed, right? So the thumbs down robots just stuck their big foot in their mouth because they're thumbs downing one of the most positive videos that you're going to hear on this channel. So it just exposes them. And I think that that's great. Always turn lemons into lemonade in this life, you guys. All right, I'm in the chat. Truth in common feeds the kitties too. Some people are against feeding cats because they feel like, oh, you're stealing a cat from another person. You're not stealing a cat. It takes a village to raise a child. Cat was going to find food anyway. You might as well help it. I see Paul. I see Axe. I see Jola, Kung Fu Christian, T. Kerr. Now I'm partway through this Transformers decode, and it's one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my life. Hey, Free Woman, thanks for coming out. Allison, Method Marine, Jay Roberts, Renee. And I'm having trouble finishing this one, you guys. This is tough. I'm kind of over it. The only reason why I'm going to force myself to finish decoding this film is because it's got Stonehenge in it. And we discovered that Stonehenge is laid out like the human eye. So I'll finish the film. I think I'm about an hour into it. It's a very long film. Jay Roberts says you should look into the alpha-gal red meat allergy, tick-borne new allergy. All right. There's David. Once you feed a cat, they belong to you. I'm trying to figure out why this cat's so hungry. Or maybe he doesn't get lamb at home. It was just some little bit of meat on the bone. Surprised he ate it. I put hot peppers on it, so. Anyway. Here's a question. How much love is too much love to give? I've always thought about this because sometimes in our lives when we love someone, we enable them, right? Some people have drug problems. Some people have addictions, and we love them. But then by not standing up, we're killing them. Love is a strange thing because it can work in a bad way if used the wrong way. And many of you in the chat know exactly what I'm talking about. Happens sometimes, and it can be a very confusing time. And I know that I've been through that a couple times where you think you're helping someone by loving them unconditionally, but really you're just helping them to kill themselves. So how do you deal with that? How do you cope with that? How do you come to terms with that? How do you navigate that? I don't know. I really don't. It's a tough one for me because, again, be the change that you want to see in this life. But in doing that, in not being honest with the person in your life about the road that they're going down, then they can end up hurting themselves through their behavior, right? But then maybe we're just supposed to love and just let things take its course and let God deal with that, right? Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. And I don't know all the answers, you guys. But that's just something to think about. If you're in a situation right now like that, where you love someone and they're killing themselves, what do you do? There's Ed Brooks. Good to see you, Ed. It's been a while. Amnesia Hayes. Brian. Joe. Don't want to miss anybody. Yes, it is, Joe. It's very difficult when you're watching someone self-destruct. Well, when Mark gets here, we may go live. We'll do a live show. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but there's always stuff to talk about, right, guys? There's Gary Baxter, Greyhawk, Following Christ, Watchmen, Jason's in the house. So I'll go ahead and try to finish up this Transformers movie and see where the rabbit hole leads, right, guys? We are in the year 5777. What a year. End of Obama's presidency, the start of the new 77 and 7 President Trump. The dawn, they call him, in the land of Nod. That was where Cain went. Dawn and Nod are opposite words of each other. Same word spelled backwards. God set a mark upon Cain and said, if anyone kills him, he will be cursed. He also told Cain, why the sad face? Whatever is in you, if you choose evil, it will consume you. If you choose good, you can be redeemed. And isn't that the fight that all of us have to deal with? Our dark side, each and every day waking up, battling our beast tendencies, right? Battling our inner flesh suits, trying to overcome our tendencies. For different people, it's different things. For some people, it's drugs, it's addictions. Some people, it's pornography. Some people, it's, believe it or not, killing, murderous people. Some people, it's pedophilia. We all have a dark side that we have to overcome. Some have a darker side than others. And it's all about surrendering every day, waking up and realizing that you have these weaknesses and that you need help. And understand that at the root of it, the principle of it, is love. Many of the addictions and things in my life overcome until I realized that I was hurting someone else through my actions. And once I woke up and realized that I was actually hurting spiritually, mentally, or physically another person, that was when I was able to stop doing what I was doing. I realized that the woman that I was looking at on the video screen when I had a pornography addiction was hurting. And that's why she was showing her body on a camera to tens of thousands of people. I realized that she was probably addicted to drugs herself, trying to numb the action that she was partaking in. And once I realized that, I was part of that pain. And so if any of you guys are dealing with this kind of thing, one day you're going to have to confront this. One day you're going to have to stare evil in the eye. Because for every action, there's an opposite reaction. And when you partake in negative spiritual things, whatever the case may be, you're creating this reality and you're living for the dark side. You're sending out echoes and repercussions and ripples across the spiritual realm for the devil. Now, none of us are perfect, so we do the best that we can. And the trying part is important. somebody once told me a long time ago, fake it till you make it. Believe it or not, that works. If you keep believing that God can change you, he will change you. And that is the truth. And that's how I live my life. I'm not perfect. You guys might think I'm a perfect human being and everything is all buttoned up in my life. There are times and places where I have to stop and think, what are you doing? Don't do that. You don't want to go there. Always remember, this too shall pass. I had a very close friend once, and tattooed on her, I think it was her wrist, said, this too shall pass. And I never forgot that because it's true. Time heals everything. Depressed and anxious or sad, just realize that that feeling isn't going to last forever. You have to just give it some time and it will pass. You have to trust me on this. If you're not feeling well, you're sick, it will pass. Now that brings me to the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about before I get off here, because it's going to be time to go pick up Mark soon from the airport. What you think and are told are bad things might not necessarily be what is the bad. And what you're told is good might not necessarily be what is good. In fact, the Bible talks about this. They will call evil good and good evil. So always stop and take a gut check about what you're being told is good and what you're being told is evil. And this is real. I remember when I was in the church world, the religion world, and I would drop an F-bomb or something. And that was like I cut somebody's finger off or something. You guys, you can tell someone you love them and use the F word, and it's a word. Don't let anyone condemn you. If you got a potty mouth in your personal life, as long as you're not using that word to condemn someone or curse someone. That's why it's called a curse word, right? It's how you use the word. And of course, there are times and places for everything, but you guys get my point, right? Don't get so hung up on these things. Those are puppet strings meant to make you not feel worthy, okay, for all the wrong reasons, okay? Okay, Small's in the house, just had puppies. I saw Liam X male in the house. Her puppy's eyes are opened. That's all we talk about is the eyes on this channel, right? Dog backwards is God. Their eyes were open. There's Mindy in the house, Vahid, Autumn Kite, Avatar Hendricks. Someone asked me if, I think Avatar Hendricks asked me if I believe in pot, cannabis. And I'm going to pitch that back to you because you already know the answer. And I'm to the point, the only thing I know for certain that is evil is the people that basically hand out the sorcery that we watch. And so if someone's doing something to themselves, whatever it may be, you have to go and ask yourself, if you're asking other people what they think about it, then you should be asking yourself. I know the less amount of things I put in my body and I just feel my surroundings, nature, I feel more in balance. And then that's when I feel more connected to God. But that's me. Okay? That's me. You know, I went through a time in my life where I drank a lot of alcohol. Not a lot, but I guess you could call it a binge drinker. I would have like 6 drinks in a row. And did that for like probably 8 years. And it got to the point where I wasn't having any fun unless I had a drink or two in me. I'll say that again. I wasn't having any fun and just didn't feel right unless I had a drink in me. So if there's something that you feel like you have to feel normal, I'm not so sure that's a good thing. You know, Christ fasted for 40 days to reach his spiritual nirvana. He fasted from all things. He also saw the devil who tried to lure him into selling out, right? And I know that moderation is huge. That's scriptural as well. And basically, I think that we each know the truth inside of us. We know it. We know what the truth is inside, okay? We already know what the truth is inside. All right, guys. I just wanted to come on here and connect with you guys today just for a minute. I'm happy that you guys showed up. I'm not asking you for anything. This is just all of us getting together and having a good time, right? Connecting with people that are like-minded. Oh, Kung Fu Christian got pretty drunk. Trying to think what else is going on. Well, I think Mark and I are going to probably build this chicken coop. We're going to get that on film and share that with you guys. You guys will get to see some French chickens. I don't know if French chickens look any different than American chickens, but wouldn't that be cool if they did? Maybe they got like extra feathers on top of their head, like a mohawk or something. I don't know. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Part of the enjoyment that we get is connecting with you guys. That's part of it. It's love, right? So I can't imagine Mark and I just hanging out by ourselves, because I know what Mark's going to say already. He's going to say, hey, man, let's go live. No, let me do that again. Hey, man, let's go live. No, that was like what was that? That was a Hispanic accent. He's not Hispanic. He's English. I can't even do the English accent right now. Yeah, some of you guys are really funny. We each have our gifts, right? God has a sense of humor, okay? Each of us has our own little thing that we do that we're kind of good at, right? Okay, Smalls wants me to do the Russian. This is Richie from Boston. I'm out. No, Richie's not on the show. I'm out. Just having a little fun. Please feel free to chime in. Wow, that was weird. We were disconnected for a minute. Guess they didn't like my Richie from Boston impersonation. This is Richie from Boston. I'm out. All right, guys. Let's see. Let's look in the chat here. What time is it? It's getting close to time for me to go. Uh-oh, Monsieur lost his car. His car was stolen. Man. Bummer. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, the thumbs down robot lost the fight, exactly. They can't win because we just turned it off. Brandon's asking about the garden. Well, the tomatoes have gotten bigger. There's a few more of them, but there's still only like 8 or 10 tomatoes. And I'm thinking maybe those tomatoes just got here early. And so I'm hoping all the other plants blow up too. Only 2 plants have tomatoes on them, you guys. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Boston. There's a Redwood in the house, new subscriber. Glad to have you on the channel, sister. Feed them Epsom salts and they will grow like thanks, Kernode. Thank you. Epsom salt, huh? Can't even say that. I guess if we like Epsom salt in our bath, they should like it too, right? Everyone should read the book of Joshua. I think we have a decode on that. Maybe I'll re-upload that. Thanks, Second Wind. I think I'm starting to agree with you on that. It's the most difficult thing to do when you see someone destroying themselves, but you're right. Love should be absolute, right? Oh, it's Breezy Ponds. Yes, you've been a subscriber forever. You changed your name. Glad to still have you on with us. Dude, a really good accent, Case says Case Walls. Hold on. We have to go get pizza. I can't do it now. I can't do it. Sorry. Just gonna have to record me next time. There's Shauna Lee's in the house. All right, guys. Chicken poop works great on tomatoes. Yeah, once I get these chickens, I'll just let them go to town. They're going to be free-range chickens. There's plenty of snails for them to eat. And guys, I think I almost ate a wood pigeon. Wood pigeons land in my backyard from time to time, so I set up the pellet gun to be ready. But at the time, I thought they were like pheasants or something. Then I looked and saw that pheasants have really long tails, and these didn't. So I finally figured out what these birds were. And they're wood pigeons. And I guess people hunt them and eat them, right? So I thought, man, I could get a perfect shot out this bathroom window, and they're supposed to be a little tough and dry. They don't have a lot of fat on them, but if you slow cook them like in a crock pot, put vegetables around them, man, that would be amazing. So what I'm going to try to do is put the GoPro on once the pigeons return. One of them's huge. It's the size of a small chicken. And I'll get the whole thing on film, and then we'll do a pluck. Oh, yeah, we'll do a rotisserie. Good idea, K-Small. I actually have a rotisserie inside this oven. It's amazing. I actually used it. Bought some chicken from the store. It's got a skewer, and it rotates inside the oven. So I'm going to shoot, pluck, and cook a wood pigeon. And apparently they're shooting birds while in the bathroom. That's good, Shada. Apparently they're a nuisance to farmers because they eat the crops. So I'm going to help the farmers out. And that's what I'm going to do. I've decided. So we'll share that with you guys. Anyone ever eaten a wood pigeon before? Chime in the chat. You have wood pigeons out there, Kay? Uh-oh, they disconnect me again. Animals should not be killed. It's delicious, says Avatar Hendrix. No, says Joe. Yeah, mouth-watering is right. Oh, man. All right, guys. Just wanted to pop on here. We're over the target, which is why we're attacked. I'll give it a second thought. I'm going to turn off the ratings on this video. We didn't even get 10 minutes into this live stream. We already had 10 thumbs down. Unbelievable. So I'm going to let you guys go. Next video will either be chickens or live stream with love you guys and each other. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Every start. That's where it all starts. Love the person next to you. Why? Because that's the opportunity that you've been given, believe it or not. Whether you know it or not, the person standing next to you is the person that you were sent to love. I'll say that again. The person sitting next to you is the person that you were meant to love. Sounds like I'm going to have to say it another time. The person that's sitting next to you is the person that you were sent to love. No matter how challenging and how hard, that is your task for now. It might not be forever, but it is for now. And for whatever reason, that person is in your life for a reason at this point in your life. And you have to deal with that. You have to come to terms with it because you're going to learn something from this interaction with this person. It could be a spouse. It could be your children. It could be a pet. You're learning something from your interaction. You're learning how to love. So that's where we're at, you guys. Be the change that you want to see in this world. Much love. Hang in there. Ignore the evil. And understand that you have the power to tread on serpents. You just have to wake up and realize it. Take care and be safe, you guys.